what is your specific solution to the immigration problem, and will your solution create an almost unbeatable block of Democrat voters 10 years down the road?
That's a great question, and one that, to say that I have all the answers to what the immigration problem is, I would be not telling the truth. I can tell you, though, that I believe that our immigration system, all of us in this room believe it's broken. I believe that we have a president who continues to follow whatever law he wants to follow. We have deportations happening still. We're in a place where, is this a short question?
No, long question.
Oh, okay. I'm seeing the clock run out, that's why. So I just, my point of view is that I believe, and totally wholeheartedly believe, that Marco Rubio had it right. I believe that the Gang of Eight were working together to try to solve this problem. I know that there are many people who don't agree with him. I know there are many people who will say that they are wrong. I believe that we need change. Now, if we're going to, and when I say change, we need to defend our borders. We need to make sure we have the support of our borders. We don't want this, a massive amount of people coming through without being checked. We need E-Verify. We need to make sure that these people are being taken care of. But I think, in my heart of hearts, that this is also an issue of moral dependency. And when I say that is, when we look back years ago, slavery, even though it was legal, didn't make it right. And I think that immigration, which we have seen no change, and it's been 50 years since we've touched the immigration law. 50. Not when Reagan with the amnesty, and I'm not about amnesty. But there has to be a way to make it work. And I believe that through piecemeal approach or whatever approach needs to take place, but I believe that what Washington is doing right now is wrong. They're using this issue, they're kicking the can down the road, just waiting to see what's going to happen. Congress and the Senate should be ashamed of themselves. And at this point, we need true leadership, such as what Marco Rubio brought out, to make sure that we make a change.
I don't think that the answer to immigration reform should be solely focused on whether we form a Democratic bloc of voters or a Republican bloc of voters. It needs to be based upon what's right for America. It needs to be based on the protection. We have a constitutional responsibility to protect the people of this nation and to see their success, each and every one of them that are here. And that's what it's about. It's about compassion for those people who are here. And the next step with that, amnesty is not an answer. We have seen that. The immigration system is broken from top to bottom, and we have seen that. 50% of all the people that are here illegal are nothing but overstayed visas. And if I used my Visa card at Target and it was wrong, they would come and fine me. We can do that. But we need comprehensive immigration reform. And we need it now. And there needs to be people like me willing to take the political risk to get it done.
And when I talked earlier on about having the steel to stand in the cage and face Alan Grayson, it's not just Alan Grayson. I've taken a lot of fire from within for my views on immigration. Even within the Hispanic community, there have been institutions, many of whom belong to the illegal immigration lobby, some of whom support my opponent here, evangelical Christian organizations whose board members have taken a stand on me and impugned my Hispanity, suggested that I'm somehow not Hispanic for not supporting comprehensive immigration reform, and have likened me with Ted Cruz, compared me with Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio with our Labrador, and so on and so forth. And as a matter of fact, have challenged my faith and somehow suggested that I'm not a Christian for not believing in comprehensive immigration reform. But I will stand my ground, and this is what I believe. I don't believe in comprehensive immigration reform because I can't trust the president to enact a new set of laws when he doesn't follow the laws we already have on the books. So here's a solution, and this is very simple. Step one, we follow the law. We have a law already on the books, I believe it's called the Immigration Control Act, I could be wrong on this, but it was passed in 2007, which called for the construction of the border wherever possible, which called for other high-tech measures to make sure that the border was secure. And we don't do this because we want to hurt a bunch of people that are coming across here to work and feed their families. We have a serious problem here. We have Hezbollah running up and down the border. We have cartels. We have human traffickers. It's a huge law enforcement problem here in Osceola County, as a matter of fact. And we have to make sure that our border is secure. America is unique and exceptional among the nations of the world, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't have to enforce our border. It's ridiculous to me. So number one, we enforce the border. Number two, we enact meaningful visa reform. And in doing this, we can attract and enact some of the agricultural labor that we need. And we can do it through visa reform where we know who's here and we can track everybody. And then we deport the deportables, those that have committed felonies, violent offenses that really need to go away. Then once we've done that, and only that, then we have a democratic conversation about everybody else. And I reject the premise, as I've said before, and I'm on the record as having said this, I don't necessarily believe that doing immigration reform will give us a block of Democratic voters or Republican voters. It's up to us to do the engagement and go into the communities and make our case. But first and foremost, we have to enact those meaningful reforms. That's where I stand.